Hi everyone. So today I am going to teach you a composition that is very easy, and it's a front view composition, and I'll just tell you what my mindset is while I'm painting this composition. So before we start, I'll tell you what things that we need to start with this. So first of all, I am using a number 5 brush, which is from Fine Art. You can buy it from any brand. And you need a rough cloth, you need a watercolor palette, you can also use tubes, and you need a jar of water. So let's begin. The size of sheet that I am using here is A6, which means 1/4 of an A4 sized sheet. So I have cut 4 parts from an A4 size sheet, and this is 1/4 of it. So let's start. First of all, we'll start with the red flowers. So I have already activated the colors by just using a spray bottle. You can use your brush to activate your colors, or simply add water to the paints, however you like it. So for the red, I am using bright scarlet red. You can use any shade of red here, it's up to you. This time we need to keep in mind that we don't have to use a very pigmented color, so just some color mixed with water. And let's begin. Start by creating some buds from the top left of your sheet. You can create any shape of buds. Here I am making them in slight oval shape. It's not necessary to define the shapes, you can just make them very vaguely. And the color that I'm using here is crimson red mixed with a little bit of water. Just to bring out some contrast, I have also added a bit of scarlet red and vermilion as I move downwards. Keep in mind to use the body of your brush while you are making these buds, because just using the tip might not serve your purpose. Be very slow and mindful while you do all this, because if you move a bit faster, you might ruin your work. It's always better to take your own time while painting or doing anything, because everyone has different speeds and you cannot match all of them. So just do whatever suits you the best. If you observe carefully, I started by using crimson red on the top. Then I used more watery version of it as I moved downwards, but then I also mixed a bit of vermilion to it. So we have different light colored buds, we have dark colored buds, and we also have some contrasting colored buds. It's not necessary to use the same colors that I am using here, because you can choose your own colors and create a unique artwork for yourself. I used crimson again, but in this flower, if you see from the top, the color went very dark, and I did not just reload the color, and with the same brush I created the bottom petals as well. Now painting another flower, using the point of my brush. This one's a little bit smaller than the one on the top. And now I'll be using a bit of yellow color in the center to add a pop effect to the flowers and the buds. Now starting with the next set of buds, I've mixed a bit of brown to yellow and some orange color as well to make it a bit darker. Just keep in mind the quantity of brown and orange was very less as compared to the color yellow. And again start by creating some buds and small flowers. Here again I have added a bit of brown to add some contrast to the flower. Just take care that while painting you keep the yellow color dominant, so don't add a large quantity of brown here. Now using crimson red, I've added some dots to the center of these. Starting with the next set, this one's in orange color, so I'll use orange color as the base and little bit of vermilion color for the contrast. Now let's start making the stems with green color. I've mixed a bit of black to green. You can use any shade of green for this purpose. Our intention here is to highlight the flowers and not the stems, so I've mixed black to green, although you can also add a bit of brown instead of black, because in case you're not able to handle black, it's better to go for brown. Connect each of these buds and flowers using the point of your brush very mindfully and drag your brush just like I am doing over here. Do not take it downwards in a single stroke. Drag the stems in different small strokes. And do not forget to make a V shape at the bottom of your buds so that they look connected. Now we'll repeat the same technique for the second and third set of buds and flowers also. Now once we are done with the stems, we'll start making some leaves using the body of our brush and the same color we used for stems. Be very mindful while you are painting these leaves because You don't have to make them look very scattered, and also we cannot make them look very congested. Just see what spaces are available for you to cover, and you can make the leaves according to the available space. To make lighter leaves, you just have to add some water, and to make darker leaves, add less water and more pigment. Continue this process by adding different colored leaves. You can just bring some slight variations by adding a little bit of yellow ochre, a little bit of brown, a little bit of pure yellow color, and this is how you'll get some variations and contrasts. Now we'll start making another set of stems. Here I have mixed green with a little bit of blue. You can also add some small berries to your stems if you want. Here I have added the berries in similar colors, a little bit of blue and some purple. After we are done with the berries, we start by adding dots to the center of our flowers to make them look more highlighted. So I've used black color and I'm using the point of the brush for the dots. Now my composition is completed and I'm using this Uniball eye pen. You can use any fine liner or a waterproof gel pen to make doodles around your flowers to make them look more enhanced. You don't have to be very precise with the outlines. Just simply make doodles with a very loose hand and do it all around the composition. Make these outlines on the flowers and leaves that are in the front, and you can leave the ones which are towards the back. So I'll be outlining the flowers, some leaves, and the stems that we had made in the blue and purple color. I'll not do anything on the leaves which are on the back side. Only the ones that are on the front would be elaborated. Now it's time for detailing, and I'm not using the brush for detailing. Just use your fine liner pen and create some strokes inwards on your flowers and buds and your leaves. Do this with a very light hand. Don't apply too much pressure, because if you make darker strokes, that'll ruin your flowers. Now in the final step, I could simply leave the sheet as it is, but I chose to make a very subtle outline or a border using my metallic watercolors. You can use any contrasting color that matches your composition. And we are done with this. I hope you enjoyed today's session, and if you have any doubts, just DM me. Thank you.